find yourself constantly correcting children, telling them no, don't, stop, can't, and you're wondering honestly why your no doesn't mean anything to them, because even when you tell them no, they continue doing exactly what you're just asking them to do. Sometimes it is hard because in ourselves we know when we do so many no's and the can'ts, definitely we affect children's self-esteem. And many times they stop trying because they do not know when you're going to be saying no. So they become afraid of trying. Hi and Jambo. My name is Margaret Jiroge, and in today's video I want us to explore tips how we can reclaim our no's and how we can give our children freedom so that we don't have to keep on redirecting them. Before I continue, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, and comment. Let me know what has worked. One of the things that I have done and has been successful is to have children make as many choices as they can. I would leave almost like make a deposit. Intentional choices, I mean intentional things for them to make the choices so that they can feel empowered, so that I don't have to tell them no. And then when it will be my turn to make the decision, children will not be able to say no, because guess what, if they say no to what I will tell them, you had so many choices, it is my turn to choose. I want to choose also, because you guys, you have been choosing for so many times. You chose this, so I'll count for them, and then I say it is my turn. Most of the time, honestly, I have not had to say that. I really have just reminded it is my turn to choose, and they always have come. The other one is modeling the behavior I want to see. Yes, most of the times we tell children to do certain thing and they have no idea. So modeling confidence, because when children hear no so many times, again it shatters their confidence. Modeling the confidence, how you yourself, now listen, if you have been following for a little bit, you know I have been saying things for many times that children are never listening to you with their ears. No, they don't. They are scanning you. They listen to you with their eyes. They are looking at what exactly you're doing, how you solve the problems, how you face the challenges. If you're kicking those things, they can see that you're kicking the things. We can say all we want to say, but children are not listening. They are looking to see how we do things. Do we get frustrated when we are faced by challenges? Do we go kicking stuff? Do we growl? Do we walk away? They are looking at how we solve those problems, those challenges. They are looking whether we take breaks when things become a little tough, different ways of solving that problem. They are looking at the different ways we are trying and how good we feel when we have accomplished it. Now, guess what they will do? They will go, when they are faced by challenges, they might take a break, lead it from that, and they will say, I'll come back and try again. Or they will look for other different ways to solve that specific problem. Why? Because they have seen you practice it. Now, if you kick, definitely guess what they will be doing? They will be kicking when they're frustrated. And guess what you will be saying? No, you can kick. And yet that is what they have seen. If they do something differently, then our no's become a little powerful, because you can be able to ask them, when I'm angry, do I do this? And they will say no. How come? And they will explain to you, because of 1, 2, 3, because they have not seen it, you do it. It is one of the most effective ways, and affirming to them that making mistakes is okay. When I'm trying my own things and I'm making mistakes and I'm going back to correct the mistakes, they can see, and they will see how normal mistakes are, and they will be more encouraged to continue solving the problems without being bogged down by the mistake. Creating a safe, playful environment contributes to this, because it leads to independence. Children can be able to independently choose, clean, build wherever they want to do. In fact, one of the things that I recommend is to make sure at least there is a time that you have created, a time when children can do things just to do them. You know, if it is art, you're not just doing art just maybe because it is in the curriculum, or it is, you know, what we are supposed to do, or it is what is in the lesson plan. You just give them the freedom to do whatever they want to do without the end result, just for the sake of it. That way, they feel the freedom to experiment, to discover, to look for other ways to do things by themselves without looking for you, because again, there is no end result. And because there is no expectation, they are more willing to be able to try more things, to experiment with a different kind of toys, a task maybe which they were thinking. That gives them the freedom, so that then when you come and gather again, you will not have to really tell them no, because they really wanted now to do the thing which they were doing when they were free, because you already gave them that time to vent out whatever their creativity was. That reduces your no's. Celebrating those little efforts, those little attempts really goes a long way. Why? Because of course they can see now the importance of the process. They know that there is always a process of doing things. Most of the children will say, "Can you draw for me?" And of course, when you do that, you have taken the power off of them. But if you see them, they are drawing or even scribbling, I see how you are able to press hard to get these beautiful lines that you're making. They now know, oh, this is how the process works. So they're not looking for the product all the time. They are looking for how to get there. And it makes it way much easier, because then they will not be rushing there to do things the way they think that they are supposed to be done. And that makes it way much easier when we give them that independence, when we give that playful open-endedness environment, when we give them so many choices to make, then of course they become confident. So that at least when it will be your turn, or when you tell them no or they don't, they will understand this don't or can't or stop must be important, because I have this whole streak of time when I haven't heard that word. The other one is provide age appropriate activities. Most of the time you can give a child something so easy to do or something so difficult to do. One, make them bored. The other one is so challenging they give up. So giving them something to challenge them, make it a little harder to stretch their skills, to stretch their thinking, and yet achievable, so that when they achieve, you can see their self-esteem being boosted and they can feel that they did something. Allowing them to do that and rotating the toys or materials that you have so that they can experience things differently every single time. If, for example, is drawing, you give them the painting, they're still doing fine motor. If you give them small manipulatives, they're still doing fine motor. If you give them, the Play-Doh to play with, they're doing fine motor. Giving them options and so many different ways of experiencing something instead of doing one thing at a time, so that when they go to get paint and you have told them the Play-Doh, you say no, they don't understand these things. We are the people who knows the parameters, they don't know. And unless we tell them, they will not know, and then we will end up really telling them no. Giving them those clear instructions, rehearsing, practicing what you do here, what we do there, what we do in this environment here, what we do in this center here. They will know as practice, they will start realizing, oh, this is where we do these things. When you do this thing over and over again, it will avoid your nose, put it back, no, stop taking that, stop doing this. It will allow you to interact with those children the way you yourself enjoy, so that you don't have to keep on redirecting them. One of my favorite, of course all of them are favorites, but another one so strong is allowing the children to have social interactions. Why? Because that is the time they learn how to take turns by default. They learn how to share by default. They learn how to express themselves. They learn how to receive. They learn how to give. They learn the rules of the group. They know how to get in. They know how to get out. If you don't have, of course, if, your child doesn't have siblings where they can play together, of course, make play dates. This is the time to make the play dates so that the child can be able to interact with others, so that they can be able to learn these important skills. And I'll tell you, it really works. Why? Because they know how to problem solve without really crying, because they know, oh, I cannot do this to my friend, because if I do this, they'll walk away. So they have to tread carefully, or they have to express themselves. If they don't like the rule of the game, then walk away. And so the game cannot be played, Base, because maybe you need an amount of people to play the game. So they know how really to coexist in that little community that they create, in that social gathering that they have. It is one of the best things that children learn without you interfering. In fact, even when you think it is unfair and the rules of the game are unfair, it is still a benefit, because that child who has been treated unfairly, they have that emotion and they are able to self-regulate. One of the things that I have found very intriguing to me is those children who are popular. Because guess what? They do not know how to be rejected. They do not know how it feels to be rejected, or for a friend to say, no, you're not my friend. Because guess what? They are always sought after. The day they will be told no by their friend, can you imagine how heartbreaking it will be? But for that child who have been told, no, you're not going to play with me, they usually have known how to self-regulate and or walk away and find something else to play with. They become stronger and stronger. It's a muscle that they really grow. And you yourself, most of the time we interfere. And when we interfere with the process by trying to take the power over the children when they are trying to solve the problems the way they understand how. Definitely, if there is the unfairness, if there is fighting, if there is a taking, definitely you can go there and help the child negotiate. Later giving the child words to be able to negotiate with the friends without you interfering and without telling the children no, those who are trying to play together. Guide them. When that child come and you feel the unfairness, you can guide that child. You can give that child the power and the power of words to express themselves, those that can be able to seek justice for themselves and also for their friends. It is our job to guide them so that they also can feel empowered to talk to their friends. The other one is praising correctly. Most of the time we tell children good job. And when we say good job, some of the children were not doing things to have the accolades of the good job, or you're wonderful, or you're amazing. They don't know what all those things are, and maybe they would know the meaning. Sometimes we interfere with the thought process because we did not tell them exactly what the good job was for, and we give them pressure to rise up to that standard of the good job. What will happen when they cannot do another good job, which can be a good job? So, but explaining the process or what the children are doing will help them gain the confidence and trust you when you tell them what you tell them. Now, if you add a no into that conversation, they'll be able to know that, oh, that must mean something. The other one, I have sought after. When I know the topic is hard, for example, that unfairness of children praying together and you can see the unfairness, I go and grab a book, allow the children to assume the characters so that they can solve the problem of the characters. Most of the time, children don't know whether the books are real or not real. It is our job definitely to teach the children the fiction and non-fiction stories, but when we are doing such a thing to help them know, so that we don't have to keep on telling them no and redirecting them, of course we help them assume the characters so that they can solve the problem for the characters. And if they were the victims, what they would have done. It always works because children will go and practice those things. So let me know what has worked for you by commenting below. Remember also to subscribe. Thank you for listening and see you in the next video.